Guess what? You just proved that advertising on podcasts works. Reach thousands of local listeners each week and grow your business. Reach out to Talkin Bengals today to find out more by emailing talkinbengals@gmail.com.
Hello, Bengals fans, and welcome into another fantastic edition of Talking Bengals, episode number 95. We're getting close to our century mark in episodes, which is crazy to think about. Nick's cooking up something really good to do for episode 100, and I'm putting him on the spot for the first time. He's hearing that it's up to him to decide what we're going to do right now. So, Nick, what are your thoughts on episode 100? You're planning it, right?
Yeah, I was thinking about having somebody pretty special on.
I like it. Hopefully, you actually have someone lined up because now you got to deliver. You put it out into the universe. The fans expect it.
What I was thinking was essentially that someone special being someone who is a season ticket holder, who has been a season ticket holder for a while. If anybody hears that and wants to send us a message on Facebook, please do.
I like it. I like it. Gives us something to go with. Josh, how are you doing?
Doing good. Off season, there's not too much going on, but you know what? Been good.
Yeah, I like the big words. It's not the best guy, color guy in the league for nothing here. He's giving us all just the little inputs here and there. But checking out the Bengals, our first topic this week is going to be the schedule. Now, I know most people have already seen the schedule. If you haven't, you need to come out from under your rock because it's been out for basically like a week at this point. But we record on Tuesday nights because that's when it makes the most sense for us to do it during the season. So if you didn't already check out the schedule, thank you for tuning in for this breaking news that we are delivering straight to you right now. But I'm going to go very quickly through the preseason. Nick's going to give us his in-depth, analytical, stat-driven insights on weeks 1 through 6. But the preseason, so you got the Buccaneers at home, then you're going to Chicago, and then you have Indianapolis. So really, those would actually be 3 fun games to go to that aren't too far away. Tampa Bay is a little bit far, but you're on vacation anyway, so what does it matter? It's August. Go on a late vacation, see the Bengals play there, drive a few hours to Chicago, or drive a couple hours to Indy. Or actually, the Indy's coming to us. They can drive a couple hours to Cincinnati. All right,
Nick, is Tampa. Tampa Bay is also coming to us. So that's 2 preseason games this year at home.
You're right. 2. We haven't had that in forever. That's why I'm so messed up on this.
Yeah, normally it's away, home, and then away. I think week 1 is going to be a real test to see if we can put our team together and have Joe Burrow play at the level that we know he can play at, playing against the Patriots. It's also going to be a test for the Patriots to see if they're ready to come out and play. So that is definitely a prove it game. Come out of the gate and really step on the gas early. I think Bengals probably going to win that game 24-10. Bengals Chiefs the next week down at Burrowhead. And as we said, I don't know the actual name of the Chiefs Stadium. I just know it's Burrowhead. That's a late afternoon game, 4:25. And I would assume they're probably going to push that more towards prime time, especially as they start seeing that Joe Burrow's coming back in form. So Burrow prime time, I'm taking the Bengals. It's probably going to be like a 15-12 or like a 17-14 kind of game. I think the Bengals are going to take that because it is Burrowhead. And so week 3, the Washington Commanders, that's where we have to really come out and just show the league who's boss. Essentially, we got to put a bad team where they're at, where they should be, right? Need to come out and shut them down. And I say 35-3. For the Commanders game for week 3.
With that game, one quick comment on week 3 real quick. That's probably going to be your Ring of Honor game. It's probably going to be a big, either a white out or I've heard an orange out or a black out. They haven't decided what kind of out they're going to do. But that'll be a fun one. So, keep it in mind. I won't say it's an easy win because any given Monday for that game, but still, it'd be a fun one to go to if you get the opportunity. Sorry, Nicholas.
No, I definitely agree with that. Definitely going to be the most likely a Ring of Honor game. And hopefully they bring back somebody good for that. But anyways, back on topic, week 4, Panthers playing down in Carolina. I mean, that's another game when we go on the road, and we just have, again, we have to prove it. We have to prove it against a team who's not proven, and shut them down, quick, and really step on the gas pedal and just don't stop. Give Jake Browning a chance to play the second half, essentially. Be out so far that Joe Burrow doesn't have to play the second half. Then we go into week 5, our first real big AFC North game, and with the Ravens on October 6th at 1 o'clock. I'm serious. Why don't they put these darn AFC North games in primetime? These are huge games. But the Ravens game at home, historically, I don't really remember any good games except for Hubbard's 99-yard touchdown fumble recovery against the Ravens. And really, that wasn't even really a good game to say, kind of save time on that. But I definitely think that AFC North, we got to win 1 of 2 on each of those, preferably both. And then the following week in week 6, in New York, playing against the Giants. That's second week of October. That's going to be a rough game. I don't see that going as well as what we would hope against the Giants. And it's just going based off gut instinct. I think that we're going to be on a roll going into Baltimore. I think that we're going to be, 5-0 starting the season. I think we're going to hit a rough patch in week 6 and 7 against the Giants and Browns. And I'm kind of cutting into Josh here, sorry, but week 7, playing in Cleveland. I don't think we've had a good year in Cleveland ever. Josh,
not in a long time. I mean, let's think. The Manziel was the last time we did really well against Cleveland. Like we had a streak where we won like 8 of 10 or something like that during the Dalton era.
But to be fair, everybody did good against Manziel in Cleveland.
Yeah, that's true. Can we bring him back? That's the real question. We'll bring him back anytime. Come on, Johnny Football. You can come back and play for the Browns anytime you want to. Anyway, Josh, take it away.
Well, as he was saying, week 7, Cleveland Browns, 1 o'clock game. It's going to be a question if Deshaun Watson even plays. He hasn't played a full season yet. He hasn't played half a season yet. So even with him playing, he's so rusty. I don't know. I'm actually feeling I'm more confident about this Bengals team, this iteration of how this team has been constructed, going up to Cleveland. I don't think this offensive line has been any better since Whitworth was here. Mm-hmm. So if there's any offensive line that the Bengals are going to have that's going to be able to stop this Cleveland Browns defensive line, I think this is going to be it. So I feel pretty good about their chances going into that game because the Browns are spending all this money, but they seem to be floundering still. Week 8, Eagles, 4:25 Sunday. I don't really know what to say about the Eagles. They're a tough team to pinpoint. They made it through the Super Bowl. They had such high hopes last season, and they really couldn't meet it. The offense was nowhere close to what it was the year prior. Defense took a huge step back. They're a team that you really don't know what you're going to get week to week. That could be dangerous. It could be a trap game if you come out with a full head of steam and you think you're just going to roll over them because you've done so good for the first half of the season. It could be a tough game. It's definitely not a team you want to overlook. Got the Raiders. That's a team that's really taken a big step back. It's weird to say you've taken a step back since Jimmy Garoppolo, but nobody knows what the quarterback situation is going to be. They lost their I can't remember the tight end's name. They lost their only really good offensive weapon. defense is really nothing. I feel really confident against the Raiders at Paycor Stadium. They've taken the last 2 from the Raiders at Paycor Stadium. I think they're going to make it 3 in a row. Then you've got the Ravens up at M&T Bank Stadium, Thursday night football. That's going to be a big game. If this Bengals team is anything like I'm hoping and praying that they're going to be, I think they're going to go into this game with a huge lead on the Ravens. I don't see the Ravens being anything like what they were last season. I think the Bengals are going to have at least a 2-game lead on the Ravens, and they're going to be able to go up there and just try to bang out another win, beat them up at home. And hopefully this offensive line is going to hold up and the defensive line is going to be able to really get after Lamar Jackson and be able to keep Derrick Henry from running. He's getting a little bit too old. Hopefully he's not going to have too much left in the tank. And then we're moving on to the Chargers in Week 11, 425. This is a team that the Bengals just seem to not have any good luck against the past couple times they played them. First time was Burrow's first game. Went up, should have had the game-winning field goal. Well, we're not going to talk about the leg cramps.
Oh, fat rat.
I think this is the time they're going to go. They're going to get to beat up on, is it Jim Harbaugh? Yeah, Jim Harbaugh. His return to the NFL. James.
Yeah, Jim is the one. You're thinking Jimmy.
Yeah, one of the Harbaughs. Just go beat them up. We got both Harbaughs in the AFC. Let's just try to sweep all of them. That's all we can hope for. Week 12, we got the bye week. Let's just rest up, get ready for the next game, which Casey's going to talk about now.
Oh, man. To end the season, it is a gauntlet. So if you look at that schedule, you play the Chargers on 11-17. They don't play again until 12-1. And then it is absolutely brutal. So you start off with a smash mouth game against the Steelers, the first game against the Steelers for the year, which, say what you will, they may be bad, they may not be very impressive, but that's a tough game. It is every single season, no matter both teams are bad, both teams are good, one or the other is bad. It's going to be a tough game. So that's going to be a fun one to watch. And I don't know who decided to make every NFC East game like prime time or a nationally televised slot. I think it's really interesting. But then you go to Dallas on Monday Night Football. So that'll be fun. Go to Jerry World. Get to see all the, hoopla that goes on there. Then you take our annual, pilgrimage down to Tennessee because we seem to go there every single year like we have to. So they're going to play the Titans once again. It's going to be the Brian Callahan, welcome to the NFL. Your former team's going to kick your teeth in game, hopefully. That's what I'd like to see. I mean, we like you, Brian. We wish you all the best, but we hope you get your teeth kicked in Week 15. We're just going to be honest. It is what it is. Then you get Cleveland for another Thursday night game. So if you look at that, you have Sunday, Monday, Sunday, Thursday. That's not a whole lot of time between games. You're cramming a lot of games in. So from the 9th to the 19th, you have 3 games, 2 in primetime slots. That's going to be a brutal stretch. Absolutely brutal. And then you have the last 2 games of the season as TBD. So the Broncos, I can already tell you that's going to be a 4:25 start because they're trying to give the people back there in Denver a chance to watch it in a better time slot. And then Pittsburgh is going to be a 1 o'clock start because the Steelers have nothing to play for and the Bengals will be resting their starters. Going that optimistic. I'm going to put it out there now. Speaking it into existence, not jinxing it, speaking it into existence.
Hold on. Hold on. Casey is being optimistic. Everybody hold your horses. We have this recorded. Casey is being optimistic, everyone. Just mark the date. May 21st, 2024.
No, I get to edit that. There's plausible deniability always. I'll edit it out.
Now, you're saying they're going to be resting their starters. I'm saying they're probably going to be number one seed in the AFC. They're going to be hosting. I think they have the most talented team in the AFC, and I think they have a very good chance because the NFL finally gave them a winnable schedule to be able to take number one seed instead of giving them one of the hardest schedules in all of the AFC.
I would definitely say that this schedule benefits the Bengals. That nice start, if they start slow this year, I'm going to be very concerned. I get it. The Chiefs game is a coin flip. To be honest with you, it is. It's two teams that struggle early in the season, play well late in the season. It's a coin flip game. Whoever decides to show up and play better. But the Patriots, new quarterback, new coach. Commanders, new ownership team, quarterback, coach. Everything's different. So 2 of your first 3 games are very winnable. The other one is a coin flip. And then you go to Carolina. Like, if you're not 3-4, it's bad. Like, it's just very bad because it's not going to get easier from there. We talked about at the end of the season, it is a gauntlet, an absolute gauntlet. We were playing a lot of tough games, a lot of primetime games. So you got to get those wins padded early.
100% agree, Casey. I mean, the last, 6 games of the season, we have all AFC opponents.
Pretty much.
3 of them are AFC North, so actual division games. And then the other 2, Titans and the Broncos, they're not throwaway games. Cowboys, depending on which team you get on the field, that may be a rough game to play. I mean, just in and of itself, even if you have 8 days rest there, but still, that's going to be a hard game. You're going down to Dallas, you're playing in the Dome, and you're playing in their environment. They're used to playing there. Bengals are not used to playing in that environment. So very well could be shell-shocked at that point.
Now, my question is, why does the NFL always put the Bengals away for all of these teams that people seem to love nationally? Chiefs, they keep playing away. Dallas, 2 years in a row, they're playing in Dallas. I don't understand this logic. They don't bring them to Cincinnati. They keep the Bengals going there.
Yeah, and to follow along that, so you get the Commanders at home in prime time. And then let's see, do you have any other home primetime games? There's every other primetime game I think is on the road. That's what I'm double checking real quick.
Browns late in the season.
Oh yeah, Browns late in the season you get at home. So 2 primetime games at home, and the rest of them are on the road.
So it's kind of like a backhanded compliment. Like, hey, we're going to give you prime time, but you got to be on the road.
Yeah. It's going to definitely make it interesting. Well, we're going to slide on into our next segment here. We're going to be talking about the best available free agents that are still out there begging for someone to sign them at this point. And who would fit for the Bengals? Who'd make your interesting arguments? Josh, who you got?
Now, I mean, I've got the Athletics. Top remaining NFL free agents as of 7 days ago. I mean, there's some notable names on here. It's hard to make a good argument, someone that's come to the Bengals. I mean, there's Justin Simmons. He's a quality safety, but he is 30. He's getting up there. Probably getting close to the end. Mason Cole. Mason Cole still got some quality games left in him. He's only 28. Stephon Gilmore, no thank you. He's about done. Honestly, looking of all of this, Quandre Diggs actually had a pretty good season last year too with the Seahawks, but kind of got enough safeties at this point. I guess I would just kind of have to go with get another shot. I would go with Mason Cole. Mason Cole, good quality center. Of anybody that's currently available, they need a backup center. They need somebody that's going to be better than what they have right now. And he could be an upgrade for the backup position. Can't have too many quality offensive linemen, because if you need one and don't have one, that is the worst position to be in. So I think that's probably the only choice I would go with, but we'll see what Hoop says.
Yeah.
I think we don't pick up anybody. I think that we got everybody that we need for a Super Bowl caliber championship team.
Perfect.
I think for once in my life, looking at the Bengals roster, I think that we can win a Super Bowl with this team. In 35 years, I have not been able to say that.
Well, you could have said it 3 years ago when they were so close.
I wasn't real confident with the line. Joe Burrow was getting hit a lot, so I wasn't real confident with that. But going into this year, without seeing any games or really any practices at all, or any workouts, just sheer size on the offensive line, the leadership that we have coming back on defense. We have Bell, Wilson, Pratt, CTB, a couple other guys. I mean, I think all in all, about the only position that, in my mind, that if we even went for somebody, need to get a darn punter.
Yeah.
I mean, as crazy as it sounds, man, like legit, I've never been in this position as a Bengals fan thinking, holy crap, right? Like, we only need a punter.
Yeah, no,
I mean, Casey, tell me I'm wrong.
Well, I won't say you're wrong. I mean, I'm not going to say that there's a whole lot of needs and that can easily be filled by what's out there in free agency. But I would say I take a swing at three of the free agents available right now. You guys remember Carl Lawson, edge rusher we drafted, a few years back? If he could come back on a really cheap 1-year deal just as a depth piece and to put some pressure on Miles Murphy, it's like, hey, dude, you got to perform or this guy's going to take your job. Yeah, I could see that happening. You can't have too many edge rushers. You just can't. If he plays well, it's just more sacks, more pressures, more hurries. It works out well. So I'll take a risk on Carl Lawson for, like 1 year, 2.5 mil, something like that, something cheap. Probably getting for even cheaper the longer you wait. Calais Campbell, as far as interior defensive line, yes, he's aging. Yes, he's not quite what he used to be. But I'd take him. I'd say for a depth piece, rotation piece, the defensive line is always better for the Bengals when they rotate people. When they have lots of fresh bodies to mix in, that's when they have the best quality defensive line. So why not bring in another quality guy? Yeah, he's older, but if he can make, 3 impact plays a game, he's going to be worth whatever you're paying him, and probably less than 3 mil. So I'd take that risk. And then the one that may be controversial because he's an old man and he's over the hill and his best years are behind him, Xavier Howard. Why not? He's a cornerback. He's got a lot of experience. He's been quality for a long time. And cornerbacks age differently. They're one of those positions where you literally fall off a cliff. Well, maybe he's still just kind of, holding on and he can ride it out for the year. It'd be a quality, either a backup or if, Dax Hill and DJ Turner, if they struggle an awful lot, you can plug him in as a trusted veteran to play pretty well, at least, until they figure it out. So I think he'd be somebody worth taking a risk on. I thought Nick was going to bring back real controversy and say sign Eli Apple, but no, he didn't. So we'll save that for next week. We'll put it on the Facebook page so Zach freaks out and be like, Nick said bring back Eli Apple and just watch Zach's head explode. Can't bring back Eli Apple.
Hey, Burnsley loves butts. It's okay.
Hey, I actually forgot that Lawson was still a free agent.
Take your career to new heights with Constructive Curiosity. Whether it's career coaching, mental performance training, or business management consulting, Constructive Curiosity has the insight to get it right. Visit constructivecuriosity.com to get started today.
Good season. There were a lot of people, I was one of them, that didn't know anything about Hendrickson. Like, just keep Lawson. Lawson's good. Keep him. I mean, getting them both on the edges, that could be a pretty good combo.
Oh, yeah. There's no such thing as too many pass rushers. It just doesn't exist. Have as many as you can possibly have. And God love Sam Hubbard. We are Sam Hubbard fans. He's not a pass rusher. He's not in any way, shape, or form. And he's slowing down with age. Love him. Local guy. Does a lot of great things in the community. He's a heck of a football player. But you got to know what he is. He is a run stopper and a Trey Hendrickson cleanup guy. That's what he is as a defensive end at this point. It's not going to – I don't expect his sack numbers to get better.
That's how you really feel, Casey.
Hey, what I really feel is do not cancel me for bad-mouthing Sam Hubbard. It's the truth. Look at the stats. Stats don't lie.
How dare you?
I know. Good Lord. Cincinnatians are going to riot and come across the river and invade the South. Here we go. Northern Kentucky's under fire. Anyways, I digress. Let's move into Who Dey History before I get us totally canceled. All right, Who Dey History this week. We are remembering fondly the 1997 Bengals. Nick, take it away.
1997 Bengals, the year that Jeff Blake got replaced by Boomer Esiason, not the young Boomer, but the old Boomer. And no, we're not talking about somebody who was born in the 50s. For you young folks, okay. Corey Dillon, though, bright spot, right? Came out, rookie rushing record. So now I sound like Casey. And
say again, three times fast.
And I tell you what, I mean, looking at the draft class from that year, just looking at the draft class alone, Corey Dillon was the only one who came out of there with anything. Tremaine Mack, he did all right. But, I mean, really, Corey Dillon being the second round, the 43rd pick overall, coming out and setting freaking records, man. I mean, that's
Who's the
awesome.
first round pick?
We picked Raynard Wilson at 14, a linebacker.
That was a bust. I don't even remember it.
I don't even remember him being on the field.
No.
And then, I mean, look at the head coach and a couple of the assistant coaches. The head coach, Bruce Coslett, assistant head coach / defensive coordinator, Dick LeBeau, Ken Anderson, God love the man, God rest his soul, offensive coordinator. I'll be honest with you, I don't know how he didn't do better with him as offensive coordinator.
Or Dick LeBeau's the defensive coordinator, or Bruce Coslett as the head coach. These are quality coaches. It doesn't make any sense.
How do we go 7-9 with that quality? I mean, it had to have been the Shake and Blake. That's it.
You mean the bake and fake? That's what he was at that point in his career.
He couldn't even see over the line half the time. Josh, take it away.
I mean, I remember 1997 fondly. I was 8. I mean, I'm looking at stats. Corey Dillon's really the only one that stands out, aside from 36-year-old Boomer Esiason. As you said, took over for 27-year-old Jeff Blake. If you're losing your job to a guy 9 years older than you with a whole lot more tread on his tires, you're not doing too great. There's a reason why nobody really remembers Jeff Blake as being anything quality. But like you said, Corey Dillon, 1129 rushing yards, 1,129 rushing yards, 10 touchdowns. He is the only reason why anybody knows anything about late 90s Bengals, just because he was the best rusher in the league at that point. And he was beast. Everybody knew it. Just too bad he couldn't win a ring here. He had to go to New England. That's the only downfall. But go ahead, Casey.
Well, there were 3 people that attempted passes in 1997. Jeff Blake, It wasn't great. He had 317 attempts, only 184 completions, 58%. Boomer, who threw 186 attempts, 118 completions for a 63.4, and Kajana Carter, who had one attempt and no completions for a 0% quarterback percentage, which was almost as good as his rushing percentage, where he literally only averaged, 3.6 yards a carry, but he only ended up having, how many carries was that? Just had it, now I lost it. 128 attempts. Because, as you guys mentioned, there's a guy named Corey Dillon who came in and said, Kajana, sit down somewhere. This is my team. Go away. And he probably literally said that. Knowing how Corey Dillon is and how gruff and like not a polite person, I remember at a training camp a couple years after this, Artrell Hawkins, for those of us who remember him, little tiny cornerback at the University of Cincinnati, came up to Corey in training camp and like patted him on the shoulder after a good run. Corey literally shoved him into the air and Artrell flipped down. Like it was just one of those like, holy crap, he just did that to a teammate. So he's not the nicest of people. He's a little gruff and rough around the edges, but that's what you expect from a running back. You don't want them to be everybody's best friend. You want them to kick butt, take names, and knock people out. That's what running backs do. But other fond memories of 1997 Bengals, the second year in a row they started 1-7. Hey, there's consistency in that team. Lots of consistency, just oozing consistency. I actually remember this because I used to watch the 1988 Bengals video, VHS, and they beat the Cardinals the first week of the season in 88, and then they beat the Cardinals the first week of the season in 97. I was like, this is our year. We're going for it. 96 was awesome. We're 8-8, finished the year strong. This is our year. I remember Bruce Coslett in his press conferences, we finished strong. We finished right. Next year we're going to be great because it's also the 30th anniversary of the Cincinnati Bengals. It's supposed to be a year celebrated, lots of history, all kinds of great things. And for the first half of the season, just bad. I mean, there were some really ugly losses in there as well. I remember the Jaguars was a game where Pelfrey had a field goal blocked and the Jaguars ran it back for a touchdown. That was painful to watch. They still had the Oilers. So, yeah, that was a fun one. Just all kinds of games where you're just like, this team is not good. The nicest way to describe them is not good.
Well, I mean, your guy, Carl Pickens, was on the injured reserve list. And we had Eric Bieniemy running kick returns for us. I mean,
yeah, that's not good.
And then our third stringer was Eric Kresser. I don't even know who that was.
I have no idea. That's a guy I'm not really sure who he is either.
But we did have Willie, guy who should be in the Hall of Fame, Willie Anderson.
We'll be getting to that. Don't you worry. That's going to be on a future episode. We're going to have an Anderson Brothers deep dive talk.
Nice. But Darnay Scott, wide receiver, I used to love watching him, man.
Since this is the offseason and this is Dey History, and we've talked about how depressing 1997 was from a Bengals standpoint, let's instead look at your Billboard Top 10 from 1997. Wannabe by the Spice Girls. I know that was Josh's favorite song. How Do I Live, Leanne Rimes. Was also was the other version that was more popular. That's why I don't know Leanne Rimes made it on the list, because the other version was part of Con Air with Trisha Yearwood. So interesting. At number 8, you have Return of the Mac by Mark Morrison, which I still listen to this day. Great song. If you haven't heard it, Nick, I guess we're going to have to listen to it next time you come over. Don't Let Go by In Vogue. That's a good one.
Never heard of that one.
You'd know the song if you heard it because it was on Kiss 107 like our entire childhood. You'd know it if you heard it. I Believe I Can Fly. You do know that one from the infamous R. Kelly, also in Space Jam. So how could you not know I Believe I Can Fly?
Oh, great movie.
The original is a great movie, yes.
Yes, not the new one. No, nobody wants to see LeBron.
Hot garbage. Can't Nobody Hold Me Down, Puff Daddy. Man, there's all kinds of risky people on this top 10 list. Puff Daddy. So for those of you who are too young to understand, that's Diddy before he was Diddy. He was Puff Daddy, then he was P. Diddy, then he was Diddy. So apparently Puff Daddy is safe. Should have stuck as Puff Daddy. Now you're just Diddy to Diddle. I don't know. We're not going to get into it. All right, so at number 4, we have Unbreak My Heart by Tony Braxton, which Weezer actually does an awesome cover of. If you haven't heard the Weezer cover of Unbreak My Heart, you are missing out.
It's a solid song.
Word. Puff Daddy comes on here again with I'll Be Missing You, which none of us can hate on that song because that is a fantastic song, even though he stole most of it from Sting or the Police. Yep, Sting and the Police. Same difference, same thing.
Same thing.
That's okay. Oh, I know this is
with the next though.
Close enough. And these last 2 songs are going to be Nick's favorite songs on this entire list because he is a huge Jewel fan. So You Are Meant for Me by Jewel is number 2 that year. And Nick loves that song. He sings it every day.
I don't even know the song at all.
And then we can't rip on this song, but we're just gonna mention it. Candle in the Wind.
Good song.
For Princess Diana.
It's a great song.
I will say I got so sick of hearing it because it was a song they played on repeat 1,000 times a day. It was like My Heart Will Go On from Titanic. I know this one has a much deeper meaning than that one does, but you'd hear it every hour. It seemed like, okay, we get it. Great song. Moving on to something else.
It's funny. I was just telling my wife, like, hey, trying to remember 1997 Bengals. I can't do it. The only thing I can remember from 1997 is when Princess Diana passed away, and that's when Candle in the Wind came out. So there you go, number 10.
John, ready for this. Terrible joke. Sorry, they don't get better.
You see, I'm looking at the Bengals roster, and I'm just bringing up old memories here now. But Ashley Ambrose.
Yeah.
I used to love Ashley Ambrose. He was one of my favorite players growing up. Him and Doug Pelfrey. I used to love both of them. And then, oh my gosh, Tremaine Mack. I almost forgot about him.
Yep.
How could I have almost forgot about Tremaine Mack?
Podium Automotive is a proud sponsor of Talkin Bengals. In Greater Cincinnati, it's Podium Automotive for all your auto needs. Skilled technicians, quality service you can trust, and fair prices. Tell us Talkin Bengals sent you and get 5% off all services. Schedule your appointment today on Facebook at Podium Automotive or call 859-869-0097.
Yeah, kickoff, return, touchdown. That's all he could do, though. He couldn't play his actual position, but he could return kickoffs. He was really good at that.
Well, keep him there and put somebody else.
Let's see, Ashley Ambrose, I remember him for that pick six he had in the Pro Bowl when they still played an actual football game for the Pro Bowl, and it was still contact and interesting. So, yeah. But, I mean, as far as going real quickly back to the Billboard, the top 10 to me actually had a lot of disappointment. When you look outside the top 10, just a few quick ones. Semi-Charm Kind of Life, great song. The Freshman, No Diggity, Mbop. Come on, there's a lot of great songs. How did they not make the top 10?
Freshman.
Heck yeah.
How did Hanson not make the top 10?
I know. Mbop is still played today and sung by a lot of people. It's timeless. And it makes more sense now. The older you get, you listen to the lyrics, you're like, oh, yeah, that kind of hurts more now. It's kind of cutting us deep. Cutting us deep, man.
Cut me real deep.
The Freshman a lot.
So many great. I mean, I didn't realize how many great songs were just in 1997. But yeah, there should have been a few swaps, in my opinion, in the top 10. But unfortunately, a lot of famous people passed away in 97. So they had to write tribute songs. And you don't want to take anything away from them and all the great things they did. But yeah, so much great music in 97. So for those of you that aren't in our age demographic, go back and listen to music from 1997. Don't listen to this mumble garbage that's on the radio now.
Yeah, like Taylor Swift. Don't listen to her.
My daughter is going to
Garbage. Hot garbage, as Casey would say. Hot garbage.
And you're going to get a nasty letter written by my oldest daughter. She'll write it and throw it at you.
Your daughter is a
And
good
now
writer,
my
so-
whole household, because everybody loves Taylor Swift in this house now. I listen to way too much of it.
I would break every radio in the house.
Nick does have anger issues. He takes music very seriously. You see a scar on the side of his arm there? Here, the Backstreet Boys were getting back together and he couldn't take it.
That scar is from doing the Superman dive off the front of my bike when the chain broke.
All right.
This
Backstreet
scar
Boys
was
story.
from this scar was from doing a head first Pete Rose dive into third base.
Definitely go with the Backstreet Boys story. It's so much more interesting.
Yeah, stick with the Backstreet Boys story. But they are actually together, so that didn't work. In Sync, I guess. I don't know what other boy bands aren't together anymore. Whatever.
Justin
Golly.
Timberlake is really not that bad.
Oh.
He's funny. He's hilarious.
Yeah, but I mean, he is. Man, now we're on a boy band thing, and Justin Timberlake. I would take.
He's
NSYNC
great on
over
SNL.
Timberlake. I'll say that.
Dude, when he's in the Trolls movies as Branch, hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can't
Okay.
knock it. It's great.
All right, since we're on this topic now, and we're remembering 1997, were you an NSYNC guy or a Backstreet Boys guy? Because we were all very young elementary school kids at this time.
I was definitely more Backstreet Boys.
Josh.
I would say I was more Backstreet Boys. I was a big fan of both, but I was more Backstreet Boys for sure.
I would lean Backstreet Boys, even though NSYNC did have that awesome Disney Channel concert. And for anybody making fun of us, we were like 7 and 8. So
8.
back off. If you want to
We
be
were
hating on
definitely
8-year-olds, you need to look in the mirror and check yourself because you have problems.
Need to check
No,
yourself.
just-
Check yourself, fool.
Now, is it bad that my mom actually took me to see NSYNC in concert
Kind of.
in Cincinnati?
That's a little.
Now we
bit.
got to make fun of you. Now we have to make fun of you.
Bob, you opened the I'm fine with that. I'm secure with it. That's fine.
So we're quick off-season topic here for this one. First concert. Who has the most embarrassing first concert they went to? Nick, what's your first concert?
Brad Paisley. That's not embarrassing at all. He's a
No,
great concert.
That's a good concert. Josh, who was your first concert?
I feel like mine was probably George Strait, but I was a baby. So does it count?
No, first one you remember.
That'll be NSYNC.
Okay, so Josh is going to win the most embarrassing in hindsight, probably. But I don't know. Depending who actually knows who these people are, mine may be more embarrassing, even though I still listen to them. I listen to their song today in my truck. The Oak Ridge Boys at the Kentucky
they're good.
State Fair.
They're good. I like the Oak Ridge Boys.
Singing Elvira, and Tiffany just looked at me like, turn this dang thing off.
You just tell her to shut her mouth when she's talking to you. It'll go over so well.
How quick did you get kicked out of the driver's seat of your own truck and out the door? If you don't know, Papa Mau Mau, you're missing out. Got to check out the Oak Ridge Boys.
Oh, Casey, speaking of songs that remind me of people, Layla came on my music while I was mowing the other day. I was like, this is Casey's favorite song.
Yeah, from back in the day, heck yeah. So now, was it the original or the acoustic?
Yeah,
That's the real.
It was the original.
Yeah, the original is much more you can rock out to. The acoustic is very smooth listening music, but the original is awesome.
Acoustic's definitely my favorite. I love that song, Acoustic. It
I love the acoustic.
Feels better, I feel like.
You remember
The
Mr.
acoustic,
Porter?
but you can-
Of course, everybody remembers Mr. Porter from high school, right?
Yeah.
And if you're still
was a
listening,
G.
thank you for bearing with us. Yeah. Yeah. So we used to talk about that song a lot. And he's like, when you're younger, you'll probably like the original version. And as you get older, the acoustic will take over because it's much more smooth and mellow to listen to. And he's right. Yeah. I kind of listen to the acoustic a lot more than I listen to the original now because it's much more mellow.
I listen to a lot of acoustic music. It feels better now because my heart just can't take it anymore. I'm getting too old.
Like Five Finger Death Punch. It's
I love Five Finger Death Punch.
like, I don't think that I have listened. I've been listening to Five Finger Death Punch while I mow the grass a lot. And I've probably gone through every single one of their albums and have yet to find a song that I don't like.
If you can't tell, Nick has a large yard that's got a hill in it, and he's angry. So he has to listen to angry music while he mows.
Get angry because I have a whole bunch of bumps in the yard and my back starts hurting midway through.
So just got to keep himself motivated to get through the rest of the yard.
Exactly.
Right, let's get to our actual off-season topic. As voted on you, the fans, this week we're going to be talking about the most overrated restaurants, regional foods. And to put it out there, the way we're doing this, we're not just talking about things in the Cincinnati area. This could be literally anywhere across the country, across the world. If you want to attack all of Asia or Europe, go for it, bros. But we're going to take it first. Heck, I'll take it first. Why not? So I'm going to go ahead and just bash the entire city of Chicago. Your food is garbage. You don't put pickles on hot dogs. It's just not a thing. It's weird. It's gross. Stop ruining food. Just stop. Deep dish pizza. I don't want a spoon to eat my pizza. It's not supposed to be like a bowl of soup. It is supposed to be a pizza. So get it right. Fix your food. Have better baseball teams and football teams and basketball teams at this point, because the entire city of Chicago, hot garbage. Just gonna, like Nick said, just garbage. I'm just kidding, Chicago. Please don't come after me. You guys seem really angry, but I will say your food is disappointing, and there's no reason I'd want to try any of it again. So, and Josh.
I'm going to go with the state of Louisiana. I cannot stand crawfish. It is disgusting. I've had it many times. I hate crawfish. I like jambalaya. That's about it.
It's
Jambalaya is good. The Zatarans, jambalaya, cheesy jambalaya. It has to.
I'm sorry, Josh has now been kicked off of Talking Bengals. He is officially removed. We apologize for the offense that he has caused to the entire state of Louisiana and wonderful Cajun culture.
Cheesy.
I'm just kidding, Josh.
Gumbo is disgusting.
Looking for a great book? Check out Once Left the Field of Valor. When Damien Shaw finds a blood-stained envelope after a battle, he is struck by a series of debilitating flashbacks that threaten to unhinge him. The letter leads him on a grueling journey of penance to present it to its intended recipient. This addicting page-turner is filled with action, suspense, romance, and perseverance. It will keep you on edge to the very end and leave you wanting more. Get your printed edition or ebook today on Amazon.
Well,
Did you mute him again?
No.
that was all me. I just had to get in. Gumbo was disgusting. I'm not a fan of any of it.
Wow. Cajun food. Wow. So you guys can defend Chicago food if you want to, but there's no defender. So I will defend Cajun food is fantastic. The spice is wonderful. It's great.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to strongly disagree with you, Josh, and I'm gonna say that your taste buds suck. Because jambalaya and gumbo and crawfish and literally anything from the Cajun country is delicious.
Hank Williams Sr. literally wrote a whole song called Jambalaya with crawfish pie and a Philly gumbo. It's good. It's got to be good.
Nope. Crawfish is disgusting. It's poor man's lobster. It's gross. I don't like it.
Don't diss the poor man. Don't diss the poor man.
Wow, disenfranchising part of our audience. Wow.
Hey, I'm not a big fan of lobster anyway. I'll choose crab over lobster every time.
That's fair.
You would. Anyways,
okay, now we got to get into it. Lobster versus crab. Crab is delicious. Melts in your mouth. Dip it in butter. Lobster's kind of rubbery. It is what it is.
Definitely. Lobster's a lot tougher.
I prefer like king crab or really just crab in general as opposed to lobster. Lobster tail It's supposed to be like some fine delicacy. I just don't get it. I don't get what everybody's so crazy about it for.
Yeah,
Now,
it's
lobster mac and cheese is fantastic.
it's not bad. All right, Nicholas, what are you going to bash?
I'm not really gonna bash really anything except for Gold Star, but
And now Nick has been kicked off the show. I apologize, man. I can't believe you
Anyways.
bashed
There you go.
No, but
Skyline.
you brought up pizza, Casey, and I'm just saying, okay. I don't want a pizza where everything just you pick it up and it just folds like a wet paper towel. And like New York style pizza is terrible. Okay. When you're trying to question whether or not there's sauce or cheese on it, why are you eating it? You're just eating a piece of bread. So I don't get it. I don't get it. Like if you have to fold your pizza just so you can hold on to it, why? That makes no sense. Like, first and foremost, Chicago style pizza is absolutely delicious. So
good. So good.
yeah, I mean, you get so much toppings on it. You get so much sauce, cheese. You get everything you need. I love it.
Giordano's is fantastic.
I'll get you guys spoons for Christmas.
A great deep dish pizza just in the Northern Kentucky area. We're not getting paid to say it, but Bourbon House Pizza over in Oak Brook, their deep dish pizza is one of the best deep dishes I've ever had.
Oak Brook and Newport, both of them. Best
they're in
pizza
Newport now?
On the levee.
Nice. Good for them. But no, seriously, why make a pizza that you have to fold in half just to eat it? It's not a sandwich. It's a
Make a
slice
pizza
of
and
pie.
you need a straw or a spoon to eat it. It's a pizza.
Or you could just be a man and open your mouth.
No, I have to disagree with you on that.
It's spaghetti.
Because you think of New York pizza, think of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's got to be super cheesy, and it has to be soft. It's fantastic. Every time I get New York style pizza, I just think I'm a Ninja Turtle. I'm Raphael. It's great. I love it.
I like New York style pizza. I lived in New York State. It's good.
If I'm eating pizza, I want pizza that I can literally take a bite and feel like I got a little bit of everything. Not a whole lot of gooey dough in my mouth with a little bit of cheese and a little bit of sauce. And maybe some toppings.
Let's all just agree that regular pizza is better than any of these weird regional specialty pizzas. You just get a normal pizza with sauce and toppings and cheese, not a whole bowl of sauce. La Rosa's is great stuff. There we go.
Tom's Papadino's over in Florence. Tom's Papadino's, delicious.
I mean, really, anytime I get pizza nowadays, it's just Bourbon House. Freaking love it. I live so close to it. I can go there anytime I want. I love going to that place.
I do like Poseidon's pizza as well. Actually, Poseidon's pizza is
delicious.
Good.
Poseidon's pizza is
Poseidon's Joe Burrow pizza.
Yeah, I actually had the Poseidon's Joe Burrow pizza tonight. It was really good. So, shout out to all these places that we're giving free advertisements for. Hope they share love with us back someday. That's all I'm saying. Remember us, little guy. Don't
we're willing to advertise for you for free. Imagine what we'd do if you paid us.
Exactly. All right, well, I think we have gone on so many random.
On it.
Oh, Josh has got a thinking face on. Maybe he froze.
I think he froze.
Josh, do you hear us, Josh?
Freeze.
Okay, well, he's frozen. If he comes back, we'll just let him pick up wherever he left off. But we've gone down a whole bunch of random avenues here and rabbit holes. And Nick, you got anything else you want to talk about before we get out of here?
No, I do want to kind of pitch our socials and making sure that you can find all of our socials on the Beacons on Facebook. You can find it on our Instagram as well. Everything is Talkin Bengals. If you can't find us with Talkin Bengals, put an underscore in the middle.
Like it. Josh, are you back?
Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Hey, I wasn't frozen on my screen, but hey, I'm really not prepared because I was trying to figure out what's going on. But hey, everybody have a good time. Be safe out there. Just enjoy watching some Bengals off-season activities. Everyone's looking good. Burrow's looking healthy. Check us out on all of our social medias. Definitely YouTube. Biggest one is YouTube, so check us out.
Word. So we do have a holiday coming up before the next time we talk to you guys. So it's Memorial Day weekend. So go out and camp, grill, do all the great things you want to do with your time off. But please remember those who the day is for. It is not for veterans. It is for fallen soldiers. So soldiers, sailors, Marines, airmen, Coast Guard, all those people who passed away in the line of duty, especially during time of war. Not saying don't enjoy it, don't have a great time, but remember why you're getting the day off. That's all I got to say for that. Thank you guys so much for listening. Have a wonderful time. Enjoy the beautiful weather we're having right now in the Cincinnati area, because we know it's not going to last. At some point, we'll get hit with like a mid-50s day out of nowhere, because that always seems to happen. So enjoy what you have right now. Hooday.
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 Thank you for listening to Talkin Bengals. Be sure to like and subscribe to Talkin Bengals on Facebook and Instagram at Talkin Bengals. You can also listen to Talkin Bengals on your preferred podcast provider. See you next time. Hooday.